So I wanted to make a quick snapshot of my wildcard build since Ascension could be going offline any day now, what with the lawsuit and all. So here we go. This is actually the fourth and last build that I leveled. I started off with cat form and I ended up getting snake form instead, which adds poison to your attacks. I also got Seal of Command and Frostbrand weapon, which also work while shapeshifted, combined with a bunch of dot effects. This build just completely shreds everything. Yeah, I didn't even push buttons there, really. Let's see, I got Charge, I got Furious Leap, I got Roll the Dice, I got Carnage Incarnate, so I pressed the wrong button there. So basically I just focused on melee dots, bleeds, stuff like that for this build. I got Poison Nova, which adds an increase to poison damage for 10 seconds, I think. Which is pretty handy, considering half my dots are poison-based, I believe. We got Earthbore Acid. We've got Frost Swipe, which also has Tainted Swipe on it, so that adds leg damage, which I'm going to assume is poison. I think it's green up here. Besides poison, I also focused on frost, so I have a couple extra frost damage talents. I got Frostbrand weapon again. Let's see, I got Adrenaline Rush, I got Feigned Death, I got Cat Sprint, I got this thing, Feral Frenzy, which is cool. Just adds a bunch of bleed stacks really fast. I also started off with my lovely little Nightmare Whelp, and Nightmare Whelps come with minor rejuve, so he's just been kind of like my pocket healer the whole time. It doesn't do a ton of healing, but it's just nice to have. Combining that with Gift of the Naru for my racial kind of reduces the amount of time I have to spend sitting around. So you can just look at how many damage numbers start flowing off. Like if I actually try to dot something up correctly. Oh, this also heals, by the way, which is real nice. So it does damage in an AoE around you and heals. Alright, let me go hide somewhere, and I'll go over the talents real quick. Okay, so I started off with cat form, which I re-rolled after I got serpent form, and that gave me claw. I also started with frost ripper for a finishing move, frost swipe, just for an AoE attack, and then I think the last one I had was charge. And then as I leveled, I got Death Grip, which is nice for pulling enemies towards you. Mark of the Wild's a decent general stat buff. I got Cat Dash, which is nice for running away in case you get overwhelmed. Feigned Death, again, nice for running away, or if you're running to an objective, you can just bypass all the small mobs and then Feign Death at the thing you need to get. Oh yeah, I also started with Tame Dragonkin. So I had a Nightmare Whelp that had minor rejuvenation, and so that just kept me topped off while I was leveling. Later on, I picked up Brilliance Aura to get some mana regen. I got Meteor, which is kind of fun, but it doesn't really work with this build. Calls down a huge meteor in an AoE somewhere near you. Blessing of Might's nice for extra damage, strength and agility. Seal of Command is great because it works while shapeshifted. Flash of Heal just for some small self-healing in case I need it while fighting elites. Roll the Bones was fun. I use it sometimes, but I couldn't figure out how to macro it with something else because I wanted to just have it auto-use on like Claw or something. Adrenaline Rush is nice for fighting elites. Get extra energy gain. Cure Toxins just in case anything funny comes up with poison or disease. Frostbrand Weapon again procs while shapeshifted, so that's great extra damage, plus slow. Charge just for initiation. Sweeping Strikes for AoE, works while shapeshifted in case you want to pull packs, but this is more of a single target build. Heroic Leap for initiation or just movement. It's fun to have. Works while shapeshifted. Avatar is good. 15% extra damage, 20% less damage taken. So for fighting elites. Frost Stripper was my main dot finishing move. Fire Slash I didn't use because you don't use it while shapeshifted. Should re-roll that next time I get some scrolls. Frost Swipe with the Poison Swipe or Tainted Swipe modifier. Good for AoE. I got this real late while leveling, I think in the 50s. So that's like a high single damage finishing move. It was hitting for around 3 to 4k. Serpent Form is great. It's cat form, but it gives you extra poison damage on your melee hits. Carnage Incarnate's cool. It does damage around you every second, plus it heals you. Venom Belch is cool, but I don't use it much. It makes a poison dot pool on the ground. Dungeons, I guess, but I did mostly solo leveling for that, so I didn't use that much. Earthbore Acid is like a cone of cold spray in front of you that does poison damage and a dot and reduces armor. That was pretty nice. Feral Frenzy I got late while leveling, but it's cool. It just does like a 5-stack poison or 5-stack bleed in front of you. Frost Drake's nice for combo point generation and adding a dot. I didn't use Fairy Blink much because it takes you out of Shapeshift, but it could be fun to play with. It blinks and does like a missile barrage at an enemy near you. And then Poison Nova I also got kind of late, but it's nice for like a 1-point finishing move just to get the increased poison damage debuff on an enemy. And then as far as talents go, I kept Master Shapeshifter for crit chance and cat form, Natural Shapeshifter for reduced mana cost, Primal Precision for increased energy, and some other stuff for bonuses for cat form. Extra intellect and attack power for Heart of the Wild, and endurance training for extra health, and plus tamed beast stuff, more agility, expose weakness on crits, which is nice for an extra bonus. This increases all damage and frost damage. Divine Strength, extra physical damage, stacks 3 times. I don't have any holy damage. Focus power is alright, increases damage. Increases haste and dodge, which was nice. The reduced threat I didn't like because it started putting aggro on my pet, which was kind of squishy and died a lot, but whatever. Increased crit chance. I think when shapeshifted I'm up to like 40% crit chance right now, just straight out of level 60. Focus attacks is cool. Gives you extra energy gain just for melees. Unfair advantage is alright. If you dodge or parry, you get to hit back for extra damage. And then this increased mostly frost and nature damage. Clear casts sometimes work, I believe, with Earthbore Acid and a couple other things. Elemental weapons for Frostbrand Weapon. Increased crit chance. more than just general increased damage. 10% increased crit chance for me and my pet from Demonic Tactics, 5 points, which was really good. And then Feral Savagery. So dealing direct damage while in cat form gives you Razor Claws, which increases your damage done, and it stacks 3 times. I didn't end up getting Bloodthirst, so I didn't use that part. Tainted Swipe. So every 10 seconds you get this swipe buff, and makes your next swipe poison things. And then I got Sinister Transfusion. Dealing damage with combo points gives your tainted pet, or gives your pet Sinister Transfusion, which gives it damage and mana, which is nice for keeping Minor Rejuve going, because he did run out of mana while casting that sometimes, especially if I had Acid Spit on, which is why it's off now. And lastly, reduced energy cost for Claw. So, more Claw spam after everything else has been dotted up. All in all, lots of fast melee damage. And I didn't even take damage. Alright, this is the first build that I leveled this season, Season 10. It's kind of a Shadow Rogue hybrid with some Shaman bits in it. I wanted to make... I love making characters that shoot chain, like Shadow Bolts or Lightning Bolts or Wrath or something out, if I can do that. And this one kind of fell short, because I was shooting for Corruption to get Nightfall, so that I could... Let's see, what was it? Yeah, so that I could get Nightfall, so that I could shoot Shadow Bolts really fast at everything. Unfortunately, I didn't get Corruption, but I did get some other cool stuff. So I got a talent that gives your melee attacks a 10% chance to make your next Shadow Bolt instant cast. And then I also got Backlash, which gives you a 25% chance when hit by an enemy to reduce cast time of a Shadow Bolt. Plus I have Shadow Waste Bolt, which does Shadow plus a Shadow Dot. So you combine those two, and you get fast casting bad damage. And I don't know why this thing isn't working all of a sudden. So I had macroed Nether Portal and Shadow Bolt together to be cast simultaneously, but I don't know why it's not working all of a sudden. But anyways, you can hear the sound and you can see it. Sometimes you can just chain Shadow Bolt casts together from those two talents, proccing one after the other and repeatedly. As far as other stuff goes, let's see, I got a dot aura. I got a dot to put on the ground. I got your typical rogue stuff. So I have Shadow Sinister Strike, Shadow Eviscerate, it's macroed there. I have Shadow Lava Lash. I was hoping to get Wind Fury weapon again, but I ended up with Frostbrand. I always seem to end up with that for some reason. Kidney Shot, which is nice. Stun casters for being annoying. I got a cool Silence. I got this neat Flourish thingy. I got, oh, this spell is incredibly OP this season. Shadow Artillery. It has 2 uses on a 15-second cooldown, and it does shadow damage in AoE and applies a strong dot. And it out-damages my melee abilities, my Shadow Bolts, everything in dungeons. It is crazy how strong it's hitting. We'll see there. Back-to-back Shadowbolt procs. Which is kind of nice. Don't have a lot of movement on this character. I only have Blink. I did get a bunch of defensive spells that I macroed all together here. So there's Guise, there's Divine Protection. I think I put Blade Flurry on there too, just because I was fighting packs. I also got this cool talent called Gormaw's Bite, which gives you a 3% chance per combo point on a finisher to proc like a shadow damage AoE around where you're hitting, and it restores all 5 combo points. So you basically get a free eviscerate out of it, plus some extra damage. And I believe with those next 5 combo points that you get from it, you can also re-proc it. So you can just chain those together, plus Shadow Bolts. I've had it go right a couple times and it just tears right through things. So typical encounters for me go like this. I start far away, I shoot up a Shadow Waste Bolt when I'm close enough. Follow it up with Shadow Artillery for dot application. If I have combo points, I just finish her instantly. If not, I'll eviscerate. Like I got a Shadow Bolt, 2 Shadow Bolt procs there back to back. Here, I'll go ahead and use Shadow Portal just so you can see what that's all about. What it does is it summons demons every time you cast Shadow Bolt, and it goes up in like tiers. So if you cast 2, you get 2 small demons, but if you cast 3, then you get a big one. And if you cast 4, you get like a big one and another small one. And it just goes up and up and up. So if you're getting instant Shadow Bolt procs from that, then you end up with like 2 or 3 demons, some of them hard hitting. And I think those last, where's the thing? Yeah, it lasts like 20 or 30 seconds because they stick around a few seconds after the portal. Oh yeah, I also got Strength of Earth Totem, which I don't use much. No, it looks like someone else is out here farming. See, he has Shadow Artillery too. Let's see, what else did I get? Oh yeah, I got Holy Supernova, I got Lightwell, which was kind of fun. It's nice that it just like auto heals you when you get below 50%. I got Cold Blood, guaranteed eviscerate crits. I'm trying to get Gormaw's Bite proc. But it doesn't want to go off, which is sad. It only has a 3% chance per combo point, so sometimes it doesn't show up for a while. But I didn't really want to like base a build around it. There's 2 Shadow Bolt procs again back to back. And see, so between those and Shadow Artillery and the crits from Eviscerate, you're hitting pretty decently. Yeah. Like I said, these are all fresh 60s, so I haven't geared any of them up. It's just stuff that I got from the cache from leveling up. Alright, so for this character, I started with, luckily they're still locked, Shadow Bolt, Void, Sinister Strike, Void, Eviscerate, which both do shadow damage, and Void, Lava Lash, which does shadow damage. And I was hoping to get Wind Fury because I had this, but it didn't happen. And then while I was leveling, I got Death and Decay, which is like a ground dot. Icy Talons is fun, increases haste for everybody. I kept Mark of the Wild just because it's a general buff. I got Ice Barrier for damage shield. I got Divine Protection for fighting elites and multiple mobs. Lightwell, again for elites and multiple mobs, heals me when I get below 50%. I got Kidney Shot as like a backup interrupt against casters. I got Blade Flurry for some attack speed and like AoE, I guess. Cold Blood, guaranteed eviscerate crits. Frostbrand Weapon, great extra damage for fast attacking melee guys. Strength of Earth, extra strength and agility if I remember to use it. I got Seed of Corruption. I don't really use it that often because there are other things I could be casting on cooldown that are just better and faster and more useful. Sweeping Strikes, again, more AoE damage for dungeons and whatnot. I got Berserker Stance for extra crit. I got extra crit for everyone for Rampage. Those are my 3 starter skills. I got Shadow Waste Bolt, which is cool. So Shadow Bolt, but also with a dot on the end. I got Disease Cloud, which is like, you know, an abomination fart cloud. Unstable Chronoglass, which is cool. It's like a turret that you stick on the ground and it absorbs enemy spellcasts, 3 of them. Blazing Flourish, it's like a fire spin around you every now and then. I don't use it that much. Holy Supernova is fun to use every now and then. You can cast it while moving, and it's just like a mega heal plus damage around you. Shadow Artillery, great damage. Instant cast, 2 charges, does more damage than most things in the game. Why am I in combat? What? Oh. Oh, there we go. Gomar's Bite. See? So, it procced. I had to get another couple combo points to use it, to proc it off. I'll show you the talent. Rogue finishing moves have 3% chance per combo point to trigger Gorma's Bite, which is a buff. It makes your next finishing move lash out and deal extra shadow damage around you and generate 5 combo points. So, if you have 5 points and you use Eviscerate and you proc this, you still have to generate another combo point on your own somehow, either via a talent automatically doing it or you doing it yourself with Sinister Strike or something. And then when you use another finishing move, it'll use up the Gorma's Bite stack, I guess, to do shadow damage around you and give you 5 more combo points. So then you can Eviscerate again right away, or whatever finishing move you use. And that, again, has another chance with those 5 points to proc it again. So you can chain it together. And it says it requires daggers up at the top. It only requires 1 dagger. So I've only had 1 dagger in my offhand, and I've had it working because I've been using Iron Foe in my main hand for extra melee swings. Important to keep in mind. Where was I? Blazing Flourish, Shadow Artillery. Silence in the Library is cool. You throw a book at someone and it interrupts their spellcast and does pretty decent damage. I liked using that a lot. Blink, which is nice. Winds of Winter, this is like a AoE Cone of Cold rogue finisher. So it uses combo points to do Cone of Cold in front of you. Guise is kind of cool. It generates combo points. You can use it while you're stealthed if you have stealth. Nether Portal, I showed you before. So it summons demons based on how many Shadow Bolts you're casting. And then for talents, we have increased crit chance for Marksman, Increased damage to targets under 35% health, plus expertise. Get more increased crit chance. More damage done to targets under 35% health. I don't know if these stack or not. There's no extra tool tip, so I assume they do. Increased damage and shadow damage. Increased intellect, reduced magic damage taken. Increased crit and damage for offhand. Good for dual wield. Crit rogue abilities that add a combo point can add an additional one. So faster combo point generation, that's nice. Increased maximum energy, great for anyone using rogue abilities. Increased expertise, great for melee users. Increased energy regeneration, this is incredible for anyone using things that use energy. Enveloping shadows is reduced damage taken from area of effects. I could probably re-roll that. It's not that important. Increased critical strikes with, I'm sorry, crits with melee auto attacks and stuff give you extra energy. So you're going to have faster energy regeneration in multiple ways. We have mental quickness, which is kind of neat. This is for like the hybrid path of duality stuff. So physical damage increases your magic damage done, and doing magical damage increases your physical damage done, and it like flip-flops back and forth. So you do one, you get the bonus for the other, and vice versa. I got Flurry, but I only got 1 point in it. I was hoping to get more. So I wanted faster attacks because I have, I think, 44% crit rate right now. Self-buffed. Shadow Embrace. Direct shadow abilities do increase damage, or I'm sorry, direct damage shadow abilities and stuff increase all periodic shadow damage. So Shadow Waste Bolt and Shadow Artillery dots get increased damage from singular damage shadow stuff. Does that make sense? Increased Shadow Bolt crit rate, increased Shadow Bolt damage. I was trying to get to the spell cap thing for that, because that makes it 100% chance to make it things be vulnerable to shadow damage. Backlash, increased crit chance and instant cast Shadow Bolt. Ruin, just increased crit damage. You need to get at least one of these. I think most caster classes have one with like a certain capstone bonus, so pick which one you want. Soul Leech is cool. Shadow damage and stuff can heal you. Demonic Tactics, increased crit chance. Remember I had 5 points in this in another spec. Which gives 10% crit bonus, or crit chance bonus. Increased strength, stamina, and expertise, good for melee. Here's the two important ones. So Shadow Strikes, damaging abilities have a chance to give you Shadow Trance, which is what gives you instant cast Shadow Bolts. Alright, this is the second spec that I leveled, and I really wasn't that happy with it. I wanted to do something with the talent Fireball, which gives you supposedly a bunch of extra fireballs on your third fireball cast, but it doesn't. It just shoots a couple out in a wave and does like one little piddly extra bit of damage. Nothing. So all in all, basically, I'm just like a fire lava caster chicken. I got this cool spell called Earthquake. And I got a special talent where if I hit someone with a non-instant fireball or something while it's in my Earthquake, it takes extra damage and enemy players actually get knocked in the air. Other than that, I just have fire damage, instant damage. I have a Scorch that I can cast while moving. I got a Thorns buff. I got this cool Death Beam. So, I don't know, I guess it's kind of strong as a caster. It's just boring as a build. I got a couple totems. I got Innervate, so I don't run out of mana. I got Stampede, Yeah, it's just a basic caster build. It's a fire, lava chicken. Hey, look at these guys killing giants. Alright, let me go find a place to talk about this. Okay, for this build I started out with Fireball, Fire Blast, Conjure Water just because I didn't want to have to buy drinks, and I forget what else. Some other random ability that I re-rolled that wasn't any good. While I was leveling I got Moonkin Form, which is great for anyone making a caster. I got Innervate because I hate dealing with mana. I got Mage Armor, again because I hate dealing with mana. Counterspell, nice. Pyroblast, which is nice for some talents. You can sometimes make it an instant cast. I got Mana Shield for reducing spell pushback if you need to. I got Ice Barrier, again, reducing spell pushback. Blessing of Kings, stat bonus. I got Divine Shield, just for fighting elites or anything. Evasion is great for dodging while casting, for fighting elites. I got Lightning Shield, which is neat because you can sometimes get talents that make it like damage enemies without them having to hit you. Call the Elements is good if you get more than one totem. Cure Toxins, just in case any poison or disease stuff comes up. I haven't bothered to reroll it. Earthquake is cool. It does damage and slows in an AoE around you, and I got a talent that makes it deal extra damage to things that are trapped in it and get hit with my fireballs and non-instant cast fire spells. I got Mana Spring and Wrath of Air Totem for mana regen and spell haste. I got Rain of Fire for AoE. I got Hallowed Terror just for a little bit of extra protection. I have Whirlwind, which I haven't bothered to reroll yet. I got Cauterizing Fire, so sometimes when I was leveling, I'd just real quick open this and switch from Path of Intelligence to Path of Healing, and then I could cast this on myself to self-heal, and then I could just switch back to Intelligence. There's got to be a way to macro that. I got Water Nova, which is just an instant cast, single damage, AoE. Burst of Thorns is cool, it gives you extra armor and mana regen and thorns, and the extra armor combines with Moonkin Form, which also increases all your armor from cloth and leather. I'm not sure if it actually works with that gained armor from here, because it just says cloth and leather, but that might just be like a leftover tooltip thing from the original game. I got Scorched Earth, which is Scorch you can cast while you move. I got Beam of Hatred, which is like Demon Hunter Fell Beam. Trap Launcher for Explosive Trap, so you can shoot explosive traps down wherever you want. Stampede's nice for AoE. Just deals a bunch of damage in front of you in waves. And then Divine Barrage is like Magic Missile but holy. I don't really use that much. As far as talents go, I just went with things that gave me increased crit chance and damage, spell power, so increased crit chance with spells. I'm supposed to re-roll this, but I haven't yet. Alkin Frenzy, while in Moonkin, you have a chance to get increased damage. Increased damage to targets under 35% health is nice. Improved Scorch, so sometimes Scorch will add a debuff that increases fire damage on the enemy. I was hoping to get more than 1 point in this, but I haven't yet. Ignite, fire crits, add a dot, which is nice. Spell Impact, increased damage. Burning Soul, increased crit chance, and no spell pushback, or reduced spell pushback when casting. Increased Spirit, and increased spell damage based on Spirit. Anytime you get 2 non-periodic fire crits in a row. Trying to think of what non-periodic means. So anything that's not like an ignite crit, if you have chance for your ignites to crit or your fireball dots to crit or something like that, you can make your next pyroblast instant cast. So that's the only reason I have pyroblast, is just for when that procs, if it does. Increased crit chance for fire, increased damage to lower health enemies again, reduced mana cost, reduced spell pushback, increased intellect, spirit and haste, increased range is nice for casters. I did have, I think, lightning or chain lightning for a while, and I was gonna maybe see if anything came from this, but it didn't, so I'm gonna reroll that. Increased hit chance, just nice for higher level dungeons and raids and stuff. I need to reroll that. See, I didn't really like this build because it just didn't turn into anything cool. It's just a basic caster. Direct damage and stuff can increase shadow damage, so I'm just gonna reroll that. Something else. Increased fire and stuff. Increased spell crit damage and fire damage. Thank you. Increased crit chance. Again, I seem to be getting demonic tactics on every character I make, which is nice because it gives a lot of crit chance per point compared to the other talents. And then we have Omen of Clarity, has an increased chance to activate, but I didn't get Omen of Clarity, so I need to reroll that. This is the one I was talking about. Enemies standing in Earthquake that get hit by castable fire spells take extra damage, and they can interrupt actual players. And then the talent that I started with cards. 3 casts of Fireball gives you an extra wave of fireballs, but it only does like half damage, and it doesn't even go to like multiple enemies or anything. So yeah, all in all, a lot of junk I need to re-roll, but I don't really care because this build just wasn't doing it for me. Meh. So for my third character, I just wanted to build something tanky. So I made kind of like a super Thorny Paladin. I just got like a bunch of AoE tanking abilities. I got a bunch of mitigation stuff, evasion, a bunch of different mitigation things. I got a demon to do all my damage for me, because I'm seriously lacking in the damage department. And that's about it. I just went through the Mana Storm and did a couple dungeons all the way to 60. And I had to teach myself how to tank again because I forgot. And it's been a few years. But, I mean, it's pretty easy in this mode. You just have to watch out for all the stupid effects that weren't in the original game, right? These mana bombs. Ugh. Get out of there. Oops. Wrong button. Collect some mana real quick. Don't have to drink. There we go. I especially like that I got Avatar, because extra damage is really helpful. This build doesn't do a lot. Most of it's left up to my demon. So being able to pop that on and just spam abilities Kind of made the mana storms go faster. This still takes a while though. I grabbed talents for extra spell power where I could. But mainly I focused on mitigation and just being able to hold aggro on packs over high damage, I guess. All in all, it was a fun build. Alright, on this character, let's see, I started out with Charge, Shield Block, Consecration, and Holy Light just in case. And I also got Righteous Fury and Shield of Righteousness. I think those come paired together. And then while leveling, I got a whole bunch of fun stuff. I got Icebound Fortitude, increased damage reduction, no stuns. I got Thorns, some extra damage. Remember, this is all about thorns and just having everything continuously hitting me. Big packs, all that. Deterrence, 100% parry chance for a few seconds. Dragon's Breath, AoE, Fire Cone in front of you, plus Disorient. Righteous Furies, you know, like the Paladin tanking thing, increases your threat. Shield of Righteousness, deals damage with your shield, heals you. I grabbed a heal just in case I was taking large packs and I did need to heal at some point. I'd have this. Consecration, your basic Paladin skill. Seal of Righteousness again, Paladin tanking. Divine Protection, damage reduction. Ret Aura, basically Holy Thorns, right? Holy Shield, extra block chance and holy damage. Avenger's Shield, good for pulling. It's like Captain America Shield. Throw it, it bounces off enemies. Divine Storm does like a little, think like Blessed Hammer. Paladin from Diablo 2, or maybe Diablo 4 now. I think they have it too. Evasion, dodge chance for tanking. Combat readiness. Damage reduction stacks up. Tanking. Flame Tongue weapon, extra spell damage and fire damage on melee attacks for tanking, because you know all this holy stuff goes off of spell damage. Summon Felguard. Oh yeah, I didn't even use my Felguard. I got this at like level, somewhere in the level 50s, so I don't really remember using it a ton, but he's really cool. He does a lot of extra damage. Charge for initiating in dungeons, shield block for tanking, shield wall for damage reduction, avatar for extra damage and damage reduction. I use this a lot in the Mana Storm solo, just for the extra damage mostly. Make things go a little faster. Dawn Smash, which is just, you know, like holy thunderclap. Burst of Thorns is cool. It gives you extra thorns and armor and mana regen. Sunfire is neat. It does like a fire dot on multiple enemies in front of you. Dragon Leap, just for moving around as a tank, gathering up extra packs. Crusade Against All Evil. This is the one where the swords come out of the ground in front of you, and so it sunders enemies and does holy damage in a line. So you can hit multiple at the same time. Shielded Slash. This is cool. Increases your block value and does like a, I guess like a warrior cleave almost. Explosive Trap Launcher. I don't really use that much just because this build's kind of so piano that the other spells take priority over it all the time. There's always something else to press. And then Stampede, which does damage in front of you and slows. For talents, we got all sorts of damage reduction that I could find. That's basically it. So we got reduced chance melee will hit you. Increased thorns. increase my hit chance, reduce magic damage taken, reduce all damage taken, better consecration. It now hits with like an initial wave as soon as you cast it, and it reduces attack speed. Increased dodge chance, I was hoping to get more points in that. Reduced crowd control duration. Your holy spells and stuff reduce attack power. Increased damage with one-hand weapon since you've got a one-hand and shield going. Increased stamina, reduced chance you will be critically hit. Damage taken reduced when you're below 35% health, and then you can absorb a deadly attack. All attacks against you can cause half damage, 10% chance. That's really nice. So big damage reduction there. Increased stamina, crit, and expertise. I mostly kept this for the stamina and expertise just so I wasn't missing or parrying or anything like that. Extra spell power for intellect, and then I don't have holy shock, so I don't really need the capstone part. More increased spell power, just to better hold aggro with consecration, sunfire, dragon's breath, things like that. Increased spell crit effect just because, and then the capstone bonus. Focused will whenever you take a critical hit, increased healing taken, and decreasing damage taken stacks up to 3 times, so 12% damage reduction if that's stacked up. Nether protection's pretty cool, or at least it used to be in earlier seasons. I don't really know if it's great still, but when you get hit with elemental stuff, you can get damage reduction from that school. Reduced chance to be hit, or critically hit, and then reduced to damage to your summon demon, which I only had for a little while, so whatever. Again, I got demonic tactics. That on all 4 of my builds, I did. So 5 points, big increase in crit. Improved Thunderclap, reduce the cost, increase the damage and the slowing effect. That counts for Dawn Clap. Shield specialization, generate rage when you block, and increased block chance. Good. Increased damage with Thunderclap. Reduce cooldown of some of my mitigation abilities, like Shield Wall, Avatar, etc. One-handed weapon, again, increased damage with one-handed weapons. I'm pretty sure, actually I don't know if these stack or not. It does not stack with, well, it doesn't list it, so I was hoping these 2 stack. Sometimes it's hard to keep track with the way the server works. Lastly, Second Wind. Whenever you're immobilized, you generate rage and health. Yeah, it's your basic super paladin tank. I forgot it in the Mana Storm, but this guy does pretty decent damage to help out. And you can keep him alive if you have to with Holy Light. Luckily, demons don't take holy damage from healing. And that's about it. So, here's to hoping that Ascension wins their lawsuit. Probably not going to happen, but we can dream, right? I've loved this server. I've played on it since Season 3, and I'll be sad to see it go. It was a lot of fun. I love WILDCARD. I love the idea of World of Warcraft as a roguelike game where you're getting random spells and abilities and just trying to make it work. That's basically why I just level and prestige over and over and over. What are we going to do when it's gone? I'm going to either move on to probably a Wrath server or a private server. But for now, I'm probably just going to take a break. So here's to hoping, and maybe we'll see you in Season 11.